about to get nuts. All right, here we go. The bye run from James Dean, our #1 qualifier and winner of the Black Magic Top Qualifier Award winner. Past that front clip. And James Dean is our defending champion from last year, going for back-to-back championships. After a 7-year hiatus, comes back last year and makes his presence felt. This gentleman is drifting all across the world, seems like every single weekend. Will lead. Dirk Stratton qualifying 16th compared to Ken Gushi qualifying 17th. Our first official battle in Pro Championship, the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship, as Dirk Stratton initiates. Taking that middle line, see where he lands on the hash mark. Ken Gushi actually going a little bit tighter, knocking it over. Out of that touch and go. Good angle there from Dirk Stratton. Ken Gushi makes a small adjustment to wrap it around that front clip. Dirk Stratton into the outside zone. Ken Gushi taking a bit of a tighter line, and Dirk Stratton a full pull for him. Let's take a look at this again here, Ryan.
Well, Dirk Stratton has been impressing all season long, starting off real strong here. Nice initiation, back on throttle early. Gushi eyeing an attack here, a little bit less angle, tighter line, trying to gain some proximity here. As now Stratton heads out to that outside zone, fills about 3/4 of it. Gushi through the smoke line. Stratton not hitting that outside touch and go. And then Gushi on a little bit of a tighter line as they get to that final outside zone. Stratton just...
Both James Dean and Aasbo shooting for a 2-time championship. James Dean notably would be going back-to-back. Aasbo, a couple years of hiatus, but once they get back there. Ken Gushi, Dirk Stratton, send it. Ken Gushi throws it in. Dirk Stratton drops into formation. Ken Gushi, a little bit more of an angle there from Ken Gushi, pulling away in that 2JZ. Dirk Stratton shallows up a little bit, similar to that of Ken Gushi's line. Ken Gushi getting out there. Whoa, Dirk Stratton flirts with that outside zone. You saw a weeble wobble, and then he comes out of it.
Let's take a look at Gushi's initiation here. You can see the 3-2-1 cones right there before the one. Right back on throttle is Gushi. Stratton trying to chase him down. Could have been a little bit tighter to keep Ken as a moving clipping point into that outside zone as Ken fills pretty much the majority of it just to the edge of that touch and go. Could have been deeper, would have helped his line a little bit, but he's tight on that inside clip. And then a little bit of modulation to get in that outside zone right there. You can see Stratton had a reduction of angle in that area of the course.
Slide him left for Gushi, slide him right for Dirk Stratton. Our judges, Ryan says Ken Gushi, Andy, and Brian. Ken Gushi gets the win. Bakchis, that Falcon tires, max oil, drifts wheels, fuel suspension, S14.5, and the Comp Cam's Cadillac ATS-V on Achilles tires of Taylor Hull from Georgia. All right, Bakchis initiates a Taylor Hull right there on the side of Odie, and it looks like some contact was made. Looks like Odie is going to shut it down.
Well, this is the million-dollar question in drifting, right? Who's at fault for a collision? And also when we have contact, we can break down the differences between those. So we see from that angle there, we're not clearly able to get exactly what happened, but we do know that there was obviously a disruption between both drivers, and it did look like there was some movement from Bakchis, so it did indicate that there was some contact. Well, this is from the next camera here. You can see, yeah, moving forward really quickly there. And now one thing to keep in mind, and I want to bring Ryan Lantane on here for a minute just to talk about the deceleration areas and whether or not that's going to come into play in this ruling.
What we're looking at here is what Odie was doing at initiation, where he was. In the drivers meeting, we pointed out to the chase drivers, well, to all drivers, when they're in the chase position, not to get themselves too far on the inside. The lead driver is going to be going from the wide line at initiation to the mid line and then coming into the inside clip. So if the chase driver gets themselves, as you can see here, ahead of the lead driver too far on the inside, then they're going to impede the lead driver's line and they're going to get in their way. This is a decel zone here from basically right at the initiation point to that cone that we have out there on the track. And you can see that Odie gets himself to angle right here. You can see that a couple e-brake pulls, and then he's back on throttle, and then he gets contacted by Taylor Hull on the inside of the corner. So,
yeah, no, this is going to be a real exciting battle here, and thanks to everybody on the YouTube chat, including Shane Eclipse, for getting the chat going and having a good time along with us. So here we go.
Here we go. Yoshihara initiates. Little feint entry there in front of Kristaps Bluss. Kristaps was praying for rain actually this morning. He says the car feels great, just a little under horsepower compared to, you know, he deals with that hot rod that is that Mass Motorsports powered BMW. So quite a departure here from Yoshihara and a new car for Kristaps Bluss. Yoshihara looking very comfortable behind the wheel of that Subaru BRZ, and Kristaps brings it across the line.
Yeah, as you said, Jared, it definitely rainy conditions would have favored Kristaps here, at least in trying to make the battle a little bit more comparable in terms of vehicle. George K has a great vehicle, but obviously this is not Kristaps' regular car, and you can see the separation here. We're used to seeing the BMW very fast, quick, light on its feet, and just a very big gap established here. But Daijiro Yoshihara is running the appropriate line. He's not running away. He's doing what he...
Yeah. Okay, so Kristaps Bluss, normally piloting the E92 Eurofighter on Achilles tires, is now piloting this George K, the Link Engine Management Pro 2 vehicle of George K on Achilles tires, as Yoshihara making it look too easy. Seems that he's seeming comfortable in that chase position. Good angle from Kristaps Bluss, exploding that front bumper, and there it goes underneath the car. And yeah, it got caught underneath there. Oh boy.
It looks like he could not move the front wheels, or at least not move them the way that he wanted to when that front bumper got caught underneath. I think we'll be able to get a good shot of that coming from inside clip number 2 to the second outside zone. Very valiant effort from Kristaps Bluss. And you can see early on Dai eyeing him up here. Good angle by Kristaps, right on the edge of that first hash marker going into inside clip number 1. Big angle here to outside touch and go. Great job there, but Dai keeping him close. There he nicks the cone. It goes under, and you can see it running right underneath the left front wheel there, and looks like Kristaps actually could not turn the vehicle the way that he wanted to, resulting in that spin and going off of line, or going off of course rather. So there it is, stuck right underneath that left front wheel, and he was pinned right there at angle.
Was there contact? Hopefully not. Did you see, Ryan? Was there contact made?
There may have been a little bit when Dai came this way, but Kristaps was already in the spin.
And here's the judges' verdict. Yoshihara gets the win. It's unanimous, as Daijiro Yoshihara will get the win and advances on. 4-cylinder turbo nitrous Rockstar energy drink. Next, entire Toyota Racing Toyota Corolla hatchback. The hot hatchback will lead. Kyle Mohan will give chase. Here comes Aasbo, a little shimmy shake into that sweeping turn. Kyle Mohan gains some ground. The bulging fenders trying to get closer to that of Aasbo. Aasbo fills that outside zone. Actually, just a bit shy of it. Gets out to that touch and go. Let's see how they handle this. I mean, this thing is wound up, both the cars. Very loud and proud. Kyle Mohan, a big correction there, shallows up and makes a straightening there. So unfortunately for Mohan in the chase position, the needle will not be going his way, Ryan.
Well, Mohan starting off pretty decent there, but that last corner really hurting his chances overall. You can see Aasbo on that nice tight qualifying line, going from mid down to tight on that inside clip, getting into that outside zone, reaches out to the edge of the touch and go, and could have been a little bit deeper there. Perfect on that inside clip. Now Mohan loses the bumper there, it goes underneath, and he loses angle, has to reinitiate. Meanwhile, Aasbo was out front, maintaining a pretty good line overall. Here it is right here. You're going to see Mohan just tap that cone.
Formula Drift season 16, 2019. Great. Get pitted. Here we go. Mohan and Aasbo. Mohan taking that wide line. Aasbo now, look at that, dropping into formation. You saw him take an interesting approach. He was wide and then flicked it in to get to the side of Mohan. Mohan out to the outside zone. Mohan looking really good now with that clean air. Mohan, look at him. Getting to the outside zone. Oh, just a bit shy for Mohan. Wherever Mohan went, Aasbo was sure to follow. And unfortunately, I got to tell you, Ryan, with that mistake in the chase position for Mohan, I think it was over before it began here on this run.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was an incomplete from Mohan on run number 1. So Aasbo would need to do something as significant to that in his chase run. Aasbo pretty aggressive here, no major mistakes. He follows Mohan pretty much wherever he goes on course. Still keeps it conservative and does not give Mohan the mistake that Mohan would have been looking for in order to force a one more time.
Really good job there by Mohan up front. but unfortunately too little too late. Slide him left for Mohan or right for Aasbo, and there it is. It's unanimous. Fredric Aasbo gets the win in his Rockstar energy drink. Next in tires, Toyota Racing Toyota Corolla hatchback. And we are clear to send. Forsberg qualifying 13th compared to Essa's 20th. And here we go. Forsberg initiating. Michael Essa, a little bit of flick early there. Gets to the side of Forsberg. Essa's right there in the mix. Ducking into the next entire smoke. Forsberg. Whoa, and Michael Essa goes off course. Michael Essa finds the left side of the course. And an unfortunate turn of circumstances for Michael Essa. I want to look at that again. I was going from the live drifting up to the screen, and then just seen Michael Essa shoot off into the dirt.
Looks like he may have gotten lost on transition there, Jared, initially, but Essa pushing the pace here, just right on that back bumper of Forsberg, coming through the smoke line, and right here you can see he initiates. Whoa. Rather, he transitions and goes off course, and you have to imagine that the smoke was definitely playing a role there. A lot of times you hope that that muscle memory will kick in.
To expose the fans to that, either Formula Drift on CBS Sports or Formula Drift Insider on CBS Sports, and then because there's just many different ways to experience FD. Right now we're experiencing Ryan Tuerck and Austin Meeks. Here goes Ryan Tuerck in that gum out. Toyota Racing, Toyota 86. Austin Meeks in that Galp S14.5 right to the side of the FD veteran. Austin Meeks, a Formula Drift Pro rookie, transitions behind the 86 of Ryan Tuerck. Ryan Tuerck, a quick little check up there as he approaches the outside zone. Austin Meeks shallows it up a little bit, but still hanging tough with Ryan Tuerck. Austin Meeks bringing it on home in that Achilles tire shrouded. That's 14.5.
Very early initiation and back on throttle early by Ryan Tuerck. Gets out of the gate, but Meeks pushing the pressure here, trying to close the door. A little bit tight on that inside clip. Tuerck through that outside zone now, coming across. Great job on that touch and go. Perfect on that second inside clip and way deep, almost out to the edge of the course on that second outside zone. Meeks was fighting all the way, not able to get door to door.
All right, so here we go as Austin Meeks will lead. Ryan Tuerck will give chase. Let's see how Ryan Tuerck chases down this Formula Drift Pro rookie, Austin Meeks. We know he's a contender. He's done great in Pro 2 previously, and right now he's showing that Ryan Tuerck, he ain't no pushover. Austin Meeks is gonna fight for his right to party. Find himself in the top 16. Austin Meeks shallows it up. Ryan Tuerck really applies the pressure, and Ryan Tuerck rotates and spins out and goes off course. Ryan, this could have major repercussions.
Well, you could kind of see something like that building into the final inside clip. And Tuerck starts off, keeps a pretty good pressure here. Meeks is way wide on that first inside clip, and it gives Tuerck an opportunity to take that tighter line and get some proximity. Meeks not getting out to the touch and go, a little bit tight there. And Tuerck, as he transitions back around, Meeks is going to start straightening up a little bit. Tuerck surges forward, and then there's a little bit of contact there, which results in a collision because we had a disturbance from Ryan Tuerck. Watch, Meeks is going to pull angle out of the car, drive straight. Tuerck is coming on the inside, and then right there,
yeah, Austin Meeks, he's taking a way shallow line. Slide him left for Meeks, slide him right for Ryan Tuerck. And it looks like Ryan, Andy, and Brian. Ryan Tuerck gets the win. So Ryan Tuerck gets the win. And just, yeah, knee-jerk reaction to the naked eye.
His 10 minutes, though. So we'll see how that all plays out officially. But nonetheless, here's the second half of the battle.
Yeah, I really believe that was his 10-minute allotment because of the contact. But right now, Taylor Hull out front. He sits on that deficit. If Bakchis keeps pace with him, doesn't have a inactive chase and no mistakes, Bakchis will advance on. But Taylor Hull just progressing through the season, and that Cadillac ATS-V taking out that front clip, now approaching that outside zone, gets all the way out there. Like I said, Taylor Hull, just a real progressive driver piloting that Cadillac ATS-V. Ryan from you know, he unfortunately didn't make it to Long Beach, but round 2 in Florida to now, such a different car and such a different driver.
I think no matter which way you look at it, this is a real win for Taylor Hull. He came out, had a strong performance in qualifying. The vehicle actually looks really good. And then after St. Louis, seeing what he does here in the lead run, even though he had that mistake on the first run into the chase position, I think this is a very big confidence builder for the team. And the team should be really excited about how far they've come.
Taylor Hull, slide him left for him. Bakchis, slide him right. And it looks like Bakchis gets the victory. Bakchis will go against Daijiro Yoshihara in the Grade 8. now seeing the second half of this Michael Essa, Chris Forsberg battle. If you can recall, Essa going off course just after that on the first outside zone. And so right now Forsberg will have an advantage, but Michael Essa, you know, he's not going to back down. Essa initiates into the sweeping turn. Forsberg taking a shallower line. Michael Essa tight on the front clip. See, there's that smoke trail, Ryan. We talked about that. Whoa, Forsberg really jumping up quite a bit. Is that going to hurt or help? Seems that Essa gets to the outside zone and now works it back into that final front clip. Pretty aggressive driving. Brian, I guess no risk it, no biscuit. I mean, Forsberg, he had an advantage here, and he kind of went for it.
You know, for the guys that are going up against an incomplete run and are pushing really hard, I actually really think that it might be a good idea for them to push the limits a little bit, just because if they are able to pull it off without causing a one more time, it does give them an opportunity to really chase hard and to see what that's going to be like in the latter rounds, because of how difficult it is to see through the smoke line. So Chris pushes hard there, comes very, very close to making some mistakes potentially, but does get the win. Chris
Forsberg gets the win. It is unanimous. Forsberg gets the win. Jeff Jones, the Edelbrock supercharged V8 Nissan 370Z, Dan Burkett, that Rad Industries Nexen tires, Toyota Supra. Jeff Jones on some Falcon tires. Jeff Jones throws it in. Dan Burkett, you can see him getting fairly close there. Nice job by both of them. Burkett pops up that front clip. Jeff Jones approaches that front clip. Oh, and Dan Burkett seems to be getting out of shape. Whoa, and Burkett goes in hard into the back of Jones. Let's take a look here again, Ryan.
Well, Jones gets a pretty nice early initiation. You can see e-brake pulled, and he's back on throttle real quick, leading the line out here. Burkett really chasing him down. Nice job through here. Now, this is a very treacherous part of the course. Jones leaves that outside zone a bit early, just on that inside of the touch code. Now, watch Burkett there. He's actually going to drive on the other side of the clip, and then right here, he's going to accelerate really forward at a high rate of speed. And clip Jones there, spins both drivers out. And let's get Ryan Lantane.
It seems that Jeff, I mean, he got to that outside zone. Dan Burkett just shortened it up and got a bit aggressive there, Lantane. Let's just watch and enjoy and listen. Alec Honadale, the kid, and his bye run. Litteral, let's get lit. Car number 909 from Riverside, California, operated by CoroWorks out of Atlanta. And here comes Kazuya Taguchi in that GTR, the top one oil Achilles tire GTR. Both great looking cars. Here we go. Ryan Litteral initiates Kazuya Taguchi, trying to stick it to the door of that gold 350Z. Pulling away is Litteral out to that touch and go. Now brings it past that front clip really tight is Litteral, filling all of that outside zone. And then past the finish line, a good solid lead run there from Ryan Litteral. Kazuya Taguchi, a little bit of distance between him and Litteral.
Let's take a look at this again here. Litteral getting that initiation back on throttle pretty early, seeing most of the guys do that regularly. He's on a bit of a wider line here, but he's able to get down to that second hash mark, pull a little bit of a gap here as he fills that first outside zone real deep into the touch and go. Drops the tire there, so slight deduction, but smooth transition to the final outside zone from inside clip 2. And you can see that gap established there. Taguchi trying to tow up the rear end, but
Taguchi, that car has progressed as well. Just shows you just seat time is hyper critical. Just getting familiar with the car. The tracks are so diverse. They might seem fairly similar as far as St. Louis, but just, ask Peter Wiecek when you go to a new course and you've never driven it before. It's a whole new world. Here we go. Kazuya Taguchi out front. Ryan Litteral throws it in. Whoa, buddy. Flirting with disaster there, but he is making his presence felt on the side of that GTR. Ryan Litteral going for it, lunging forward now, past that front clip, and now into that outside zone goes Taguchi. You can see Litteral chomping down on the bid. Well done by Taguchi and Ryan Litteral. Gotta tell you, that gold shadow, that CoreWorks 350Z looked really strong there, Ryan.
A good bit of driving there by both drivers, but especially by Ryan Litteral in that final corner. You're starting to build up to, are we gonna have an accident in that final inside clip? And we didn't, because both drivers maintained the line and angle that they needed. Here you can see Taguchi, big angle through that second inside clip, but look at Ryan Litteral. Not phased at all. Right here, they both dive in, tighter line here, but managed to get around that final inside clip, and a great bit of driving there by both drivers. Ryan Litteral keeping the proximity, driving through the smoke line, putting the car where he needs to, and Taguchi continuing to get better every single event.
Slide him left for Taguchi, right for Ryan Litteral. Ryan, Brian, and Andy say Ryan Litteral gets the win. Litteral will go against Honadell in the top 16 versus JTP. Justin Pawlak out front through the start chicane. Got a clean start. Nobody's hit a cone yet. No strikes, no harm, no foul. Justin Pawlak initiates. Quite a degree of angle. Federico nosing in, but not mimicking the angle. Gets out to that outside zone. Federico really lacking the angle here, trying to keep proximity, gets shaken up, gets into the dirt in that Ferrari. And Justin Pawlak just dips that Falcon tire into that outside zone. But unfortunately, Federico Sceriffo kind of struggling in the chase.
Well, we see just how important the power alley is in setting up that line, especially in the chase position to get to that inside clip, depending on where the lead driver goes. Pawlak here through that first inside clip, leaving that outside zone. Nice job on the touch and go. And Sceriffo right there was coming up too tight on that second inside clip. He had to pull angle out of the vehicle. And then as he got off the gas, he lost some ground to Justin Pawlak and was not able to gain it back.
All right, so Federico Sceriffo will lead. Justin Pawlak will give chase. Fiorella leaving the start line. And there goes Federico Sceriffo, Justin Pawlak right there. Ryan, you talked about this, the mistakes and just applying the pressure. If you're in that chase position, you have an advantage. Right now, I don't consider that an inactive chase, but I'd like to see Justin Pawlak just get a little more aggressive, and he does just that. But that could end up biting him, and no, he hangs on to it. That got a little hairy there for Justin Pawlak, Ryan.
Well, we've seen this before at this event, or at this track rather. You see the guys hanging back a little bit. They know they have a clear advantage, but then they attack at the right time to gain that proximity and be door to door by the time they get to the finish line. Pawlak stays back for a second here. Now he starts to come on the attack as Sceriffo gets out to that outside touch and go. Pawlak transitioning here. Now Sceriffo got into that outside zone way early there, and Pawlak had to make a last-minute adjustment. He held on to it, and then he was pretty close right through the finish line.
Again, remember at 5:30 we have a local time, our AM halftime show. Slide him left for Federico or right for Justin Pawlak, and it is 2-1. So Ryan and Brian siding with JTP. But right now our next battle is the revisiting of the second half. Now Jeff Jones and Dan Burkett. Dan Burkett, who, if you can recall, got on the side of Jeff Jones, used his competition timeout, and he needs to throw it out. And Jeff Jones needs to push hard in this dock. Falcon Tires, Edelbrock, Nissan 370Z. Dan Burkett to that outside zone, transition into that second front clip. Both of them do well. Dan Burkett gets all the way out to, you can see that box that the judges have denoted, an outside zone. Ryan, a good lead run for Dan Burkett. A decent chase run for Jeff Jones, but unfortunately that hit that Burkett had on the first run is definitely going to mar him.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. That's definitely a big hill to climb for Dan Burkett. He's got to really just go and push as hard as he can. This lead run fills that outside zone. Pretty tight here on that inside line, though. Does not get out to the touch and go. And Jones is able to make an adjustment. He's not door to door here, but as you said, his spotter's probably telling him, hey, look, don't push too hard. You've got the other guy's got an incomplete. Just got to get through this run without an inactive chase, and I think he was able to do that.
All right, so next up is the results. Jeff Jones gets the win. Jeff Jones is going to the top 16 on the podium in his second season behind the wheel of that BC Racing Nitto Tires Ford Mustang. Machine was built for war. The Ford power plant, Achilles tire, S13, and Chelsea DeNofa throws it in. Matt Coffman right there. Has to back down a little bit, gets to the outside zone transition. An early transition for Matt Coffman. You can see Chelsea really whipping it into the outside zone using all of the course. is DeNofa. Man, DeNofa, if that was a qualifying run, that would have been a really high score.
Yeah, let's take a look at this again here. DeNofa, snappy initiation, right back on throttle. Coffman staying with him here, but on a little bit of a higher line. DeNofa right between that first and second hash mark. Massive throttle here through that first outside zone. Gets out to the outside touch and go. Coffman transitioned a little bit early. He was got to be really tight on that inside clip. Made an adjustment to avoid hitting with contact, but less angle than DeNofa. As DeNofa fills that final outside zone.
Watch your 6. It says, I was looking at his racing suit earlier. A lot of airplane livery inspired graphics on his vehicle. Gotta love that. As Matt Coffman, shots fired across the nose. Coffman, a lot of smoke kicking out, but that allows Chelsea DeNofa to gain some ground, but Chelsea gets lost in that smoke. Now, really catching up to the side of that S13 is Chelsea DeNofa. Great lead run there. Kind of was just rolling, just a big smoke machine out of the gate, and then just really separated himself from Chelsea.
Let's take a look at this from the onset here. Interesting initiation by Coffman. He almost initiated, went on that low line, and then came up mid there. And DeNofa had to make an adjustment. Now DeNofa falling back a little bit here as he comes through the smoke line. He's going to surge forward as Coffman kind of slows up a little bit right there through that second inside clip. Now Coffman deep into that zone, but DeNofa able to grip up and close the door right through that last inside clipping point. So here is from camera 2, Jared. This is from the start here. He initiates, puts big angle, and then you can see it really slows down there. And then right there, starts to pull away from DeNofa, but DeNofa reeled him in towards the end. So now we go to the judges' scorecards.
Slide him left for Coffman, right for DeNofa, and DeNofa gets the win. DeNofa advances on to JZ Power S15. Piotr got his podium last year at Irwindale. Like Ryan said, not backing down, no team orders here as far as Wordhouse goes, but right now he definitely wants to. Oh, look at Kevin Lawrence right there. Almost, there might have been some contact there, but Peter Wiecek stays into it. Kevin Lawrence from Orlando, Florida, putting it on. The Ajuku Racing S chassis. Had a moment of greatness there, but then back down, but a solid approach there for both the drivers.
Yeah, dang Kevin Lawrence pushing real hard there. 75% of the run he was sticking with Peter Wiecek right at the beginning of the run. Wiecek right there, a little bit of an adjustment through that first inside clip, but Lawrence not letting him go. Trying to follow him like a moving clipping point, but then right here starting to fall back a little bit. Nice fluid transition by Peter Wiecek through that final outside zone and a tight line through that last inside clip.
All right, let's see if we get a full pull here. Kevin, wait, there we go. Now we go. We got a clean start, don't hit a cone. All right, Kevin Lawrence out front, Piotr Wiecek in the chase position. K-Law into the front clip, some wavering as he exits out, but looks like he worked his way into that outside zone. Out to the touch and go, Piotr Wiecek taking out that second front clip. And Lawrence looking really strong out front with that clean air.
Kevin Lawrence's car is fast. Let's take a look at this again here, Jared. Manji initiation for Kevin Lawrence. Peter tries to dive in, but already a gap established here. Now starting to reel him in a little bit as Lawrence hits that in between that first and second hash mark. Now starting to pull away, get to that outside zone. Right at the touch and go, right at the edge there. Nice on that first inside clip. Wiecek trying to close the door, but still a few car lengths away. And now we've got those 2 runs in the books.
Hello, thank you. Thank you for the battle. Slide him left for Lawrence, right for Peter Wiecek. Ryan, Andy, and Brian say. Brian says one more time. Ryan says Peter Wiecek. Now, which way is Andy going? Lawrence, and one more time. So they're going at it again. All right, well, Jeff Jones and Kyle Mohan having fun. Unfortunately, Kyle Mohan knocked out, but Jeff Jones will see top 16 competition and with Kyle Mohan's help. So moving on to our next battle, it was to be Castro and Field, but Field called a comp timeout. So right now, Forrest Wang and Farouk Kawai. Forrest Wang initiates that Vaptasia Energy Innovations Achilles Tire. Sylvia Sutin has Farouk Kawai in that 2JZ Powered Reckless Racing BMW. Forrest Wang making it look pretty easy right now, but Farouk Kawai, talk about another driver that's progressed tremendously. Originally from Poland, now living in the Bay Area as Forrest gets all the way to the outside zone. Like I said, it's great to see the BMW back. We didn't see Farouk in St. Louis, but here he is, and he's looking better than ever.
Well, there's Forrest getting a good start there. Farouk trying to tuck up on the inside, keep proximity with Wang, but he falls back a little bit as Wang nice and tight on that first inside clip, completely fills that second outer zone. Smooth transition across the course to that outside touch and go, and again another one from inside clip 1 out to that outside zone. Farouk playing catch up here, and not a lot of mistakes, a very clean run out front.
Had the pleasure of traveling with Farouk. Different events across the country. So here we go. Farouk out front. Let's see what Forrest Wang can throw down. Definitely styles for miles as far as Forrest Wang goes. Kicks out a lot of angle from Forrest Wang. Farouk, on that first clip, you see a correction there as he massaged his way in that outside zone. Could have got a little hairy there. Now transitions into this outside zone. Does not get all the way out there, unfortunately, for Farouk, and a wide swing crossing the finish line. Unfortunately for Farouk, yeah, just a few mistakes here and there.
I don't think it was going to matter, but that was a pass on the inside by Forrest Wang on an inside clip, cleanly done there, and that should solidify the win just as a point of process. But Farouk right here, you can see he actually he was losing angle, he understeered a little bit, went off course there. Forrest is trying to stick with him, trying not to make contact, trying to estimate where Farouk's going to go. Now as Farouk goes wide here, Forrest is on this inside line, and he makes the pass on the inside through the finish line, and that is a legal area for a pass.
All right, slide him left for Farouk, right for Forrest Wang. And Brian and Ryan and Andy say Forrest Wang. Forrest Wang gets the win. Don't know exactly why Matt Field called his comp timeout, but he did. So let's see. All right, so here we go. Castro out front. Castro initiates. Matt Field really mimicking the angle. Castro with a great degree of angle. Very fluid into the outside zone. Quick little yank of the e-brake. A wide swing past that front clip. And here comes Matt Field right there on the door of this Toyota 86. Lunges forward. He got some contact. It looks like they're just going to cross the finish line. Rubbing his racing here. Glad to see Castro stay in it. Very competitive battle here. Obviously, Matt, with that competition timeout call, will want to investigate that, see what happened there. But in the run here in front of us, very close here as Castro runs through that first inside clip. Now trying to get out to this touch and go. Goes a little bit long there. Misses that second inside clip, but Matt Field using him like a moving clipping point. Staying tight there. Surges forward here. Castro on a little bit of a tight line there. May have pinched Field just a tiny, tiny bit, but nonetheless, both drivers stay in it here. You can see right there is a little bit of body contact right through the finish line. All right, our officials will be inspecting the vehicle, seeing what's going on. Remember, we have the one more time battle of Wiecek. Lantain, going to you.
Yeah, we're looking at what occurred here to cause the contact, and we're trying to assess fault in case we need to have that call set. So if you're watching the replay right now, look at the handbrake pull after outside zone 2. You can see that Castro pulls another handbrake there, and the smoke starts to dissipate. His angle reduces slightly, and Field is right behind him in an area where he's nice and close, and it's an area where you should be on throttle.
Kevin Lawrence, a Formula Drift Pro rookie, won the Pro 2 championship last year here in Texas. Can he do it again? Meaning, can he get the win? Here we go. Wiecek initiates. Kevin Lawrence right there. Kayla. Big angle there from Peter Wiecek. Lawrence tucks into the smoke signal. And now transitioning past that final front clip and into the outer zone. Peter Wiecek gets all the way out. Kevin Lawrence does not even get to the yellow box, unfortunately for him. Let's take a look at it again.
Well, Kevin Lawrence very aggressive from the onset once again, right up on the inside there, but less angle, and then falls off Peter Wiecek's line through that first inside clip. Wiecek, very good job filling that outside zone, and great job on the touch and go, still able to retain his line through that second inside clip, through that outside zone.
Who definitely, could, by comparison to his first run, definitely needs to step it up here. Big faint entry, no restart, no strikes. And Kalon now past that front clip. Peter Wiecek surprisingly back there quite a bit. Now into that touch and go area goes Kevin Lawrence. Let's see how he handles his outside zone. Kevin Lawrence, a solid lead run. Ryan, you know, Kevin looked better when he had the clean air, but he missed some clips.
Yeah, I still am surprised, though, that he's able to pull that much of a gap on Wiecek, especially considering how quick Wiecek is usually against his competitors. Here, a big gap established. He was on that second hash mark. Nice transition there. Gets into that zone very early. Now Wiecek closing the door towards the end. So here's the start from camera 2. You can see both guys trying to dive in together here. Wiecek surges forward as Lawrence is on that second hash mark. Now starts to pull away a little bit, and he still gets into that outside zone. And you see that gap being established. Now Wiecek starting to come closer. So not a black and white run between these two guys as now we go to the judges.
Wiecek, Lawrence await the outcome. Slide him left for Lawrence or right for the Polish Piotr Wiecek. And Piotr Wiecek gets the win. Piotr, after a one more time battle, eventually gets the win. Okay, we got a clean start so far. Yes, we do. No cones are hit. Here comes Von Gittin Jr. initiating. Big angle there from Von Gittin Jr. Bringing about the 2.5 hash mark into that outside zone, into the touch and go. Matt Van Kirk center punches that front clip into that outer zone. Goes Gittin and Van Kirk. Again, Van Kirk no slouch by any means going against Gittin.
Well, Gittin, snappy initiation back on throttle. Van Kirk trying to stay up on the inside, but Gittin goes way wide here on that first inside clip. Gives Van Kirk an opportunity to take that tighter line and gain some proximity. Getting out to that outside zone. The touch and goes a little bit short on, but nice filling that final outside zone and this final inside clip here. But Van Kirk then towing up the rear end towards the end.
And we have them leaving the start line. Matt Van Kirk trickles it in. Von Gittin Jr. shadows him in that Monster Energy Nitto Tire Ford Performance Mustang RTR Spec 5D. Out to the outside zone, into the touch and go. Goes Van Kirk. Van Kirk using all the course. Tightens it back up on that front clip. Now into that outside zone goes Van Kirk. Van Kirk a wide swing around that final clip. Got a little hairy there, but ends up coming out unscathed.
Oh, Van Kirk, feint initiation there, getting on the inside, keeping it close, following him right through that first inside clip. Nice job by Van Kirk on that inside hash mark. Then out to the touch and go, but pushes a little bit too wide. Leaves the door open for Von, who makes an adjustment there. And then as Van Kirk hits that final inside clip, he pushes way too wide past it.
Slide him left for Van Kirk or right for Von Gittin Jr. And there you have it. Von Gittin Jr. gets the win and will advance on into the top 16.
Or not, and in this case, Castro would have had to use his. Matt had time to fix his vehicle.
Here we go, Matt Field out front in that Wish Falcon Tires Corvette. The Beast from the Bay initiates. Castro quickly gets to the side of him, takes out that front clip. Castro knows he needs to really send it here, and he does. Look at that. Into that front clip goes Castro. Field fills that outside zone. Looks like Castro has another mistake at that same point he did on that first battle, Ryan.
Well, very fun succession of 2 runs between these guys to watch. Really close here. Big angle by Field, who gets right on that first hash mark on that inside clip. Castro keeping it close, but Field feeling that first outside zone a little bit shallow on that outside touch and go through the smoke line as Castro. He loses some angle for a second and tries to gain proximity back as Field goes wide on that final inside clip.
So it's going to be Lorette, Corey, and Paco. Here we go. Slide him left for Field, right for Castro, and Matt Field unanimously gets the win. Unfortunately, Castro knocked out from Dominican Republic. Matt Field in his Wish Falcon Tires Chevrolet Corvette gets the win. Castro, a couple donuts there for a good measure. Oh, doctor, look at